my points, adding this part now, especially with regards to the environment. So in our society or in your own environment, all right, what would you say makes a man or a woman an ideal adult? And then what are those things a parent should do to show that they are raising their kids to become the ideal adults? So let's talk. The number to call is 070-0923-0923. 070-0923-0923. And then you can send a message via WhatsApp to 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. So I remember when we had that conversation that was on Saturday, some persons even mentioned, I think a particular man called in to say, one thing his father did for him and his siblings was that when you finish from secondary school or so, you get to go learn a skill. You're either going to a tailor's shop or you're going to the mechanic shop. You must learn a skill, something you can do with your hands. So that was it for the father. His own intentionality in helping his kids become that picture of that person, that adult, that society can say, this man, this woman is a good example of who an adult is. For the father, it was get a skill. Get you a handwork. Yes, I'm sending you to school, but my dear, my darling, you must get a handwork as well. 070-0923-0923. Remember, we have a call screener, so when you hear another person's voice, don't say, oh, sorry, it's a wrong number. It's not a wrong number. All right? So speak with the call screener, and then the call screener will patch you through. And, of course, for your messages, you send them to this number, 0809-030-6416. I know parents who take out time to enroll their kids in some karate class. So it's not just about the karate, right? It's about self-defense. So they believe if this child is growing up, this child should grow up to become a man or a woman who can defend themselves. They shouldn't be called cowards. They should be able to stand strong, regardless of the situation. If it's a girl, shouldn't be that girl who is waiting for a man to help her out when she can help herself. She shouldn't be that lady who gets trampled upon. She should be able to stand up for herself. So, honey, let's get you some self-defense classes so that you don't lose yourself because you're looking at a situation that seems bigger than you. And that situation could be human beings trying to be crazy. Okonkwo is calling from Rumokuta. Hello, Okonkwo. Hello, Okonkwo. You keep calling me Gabi. I don't know why.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Okonkwo.
There are three educational qualities that I am to put in my children. Number one is to teach them to be hardworking.
How do you do that?
After, as a father, I've given them relevant theoretical and vocational education from different higher institutions. Number two, I will teach them not to be violent in the society because violence brings destruction. The last one, I will teach them not to be lawless, but to be law-abiding. And by God's special grace, when they move with these three qualities, they will be relevant and ideal men and women raised by me through the empowerment of Almighty God. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for calling, Okonkwo. Although I actually needed, some level of practicality, right? He just says I'll teach them, through whether going through different higher institutions. I think that's what I heard. And I was thinking, oh, really? You're going to do that in this economy? Anyway. So what are those things, all right? I need examples. Even if it's just one thing that you can take your time to explain to us. All right, call in and let us know that one thing that you think when a parent does, when a parent begins to do, is going to help their child to grow into an adult that actually stands out wherever they are found. That adult that can be seen as an ideal human being. That adult that our society can be proud of. All right, we'll go on a commercial break, and when we return, I'm still taking your calls and your messages. So keep them coming. You can send your messages via WhatsApp to 0809 030 6416. It's the sunny side. Do stay tuned. Welcome back to the sunny side. My name is Constance. So we're still talking about raising your kids to become ideal adults. How do you raise your kids to become adults and not just raising kids? You know, for some people, it's more like, let's just be going. There's no intentionality that this person is going to grow up tomorrow to be an adult. What are you doing as a parent to show that you are being intentional about that? That you're not just raising kids, you know. Get them the chocolates, the ice cream, stick them everywhere, and not actually prepare them for the life ahead. And that's why someone would wake up and sing adulthood na scam. It's not scam. It's part of life, yeah? All right. 070-0923-0923 070-0923-0923 and send that message via WhatsApp to 0809-030-6416 0809-030-6416. So you talk to me because I would like to hear from you what you're doing as a parent and what you think a parent should do. Maybe you're not a parent, right? And remember, we have a call screener, so don't call in and then hear another person's voice and hang up. Do not hang up. Please speak to the call screener first. And someone is calling me Gabriella. I'm not Gabriella. My name is Constance. Kingsley says parents should be intentional about training their children to know that you don't get everything that you want in life. They should intentionally deny them certain things just to drive home that message. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Kingsley, for that one. You know, I've actually heard someone say I had to make my kids go buy rice in cups. No, not because we can't afford to get the bag of rice. The bag of rice just finished. And as usual, I wanted to just make the call and ask, get the person who sells to us, bring the bag of rice to the house. But on a second thought, I was like, nah, let me send the kids to go and buy 4 cups of rice so they would know that you can actually buy rice in cups. Just to let them know that that's a reality some people have. Things finish in the house and I'm not quick to replenish, buy the cartons of this and that. Let's go and buy one. So they would know that there comes a time in a person's life when you could find yourself in that situation where you cannot afford to buy them in bulk. All right, Zion is calling from GRA. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Steve.
Welcome on board.
Soon as they'll be coming back from school, I will meet them one-on-one because of the season we find ourselves. Intentional parenting is one thing a lot of parents lack. One ingredient they don't put on the table. I guess you've heard this word from me before. Training up a child is different from taking care of a child. What the story narrated, that mother was only taking care of the child. But this child is demanding, train me as a child. Let me make some parents feel guilty this afternoon. When last you take your child to your office, your place of work? When last did you do that? Try it and you will see the excitement in them. Try it and you see determination in them. Try it and you will see the love and the respect they will have for you. So this is where Daddy is working. Oh, this is the Gabi he's talking about. Oh, this is the Disgrace he's talking about. Do they listen to radio like you? Do they follow your footsteps? When you're reading at home, are they reading with you, or you ask them to go and read while you are watching TV? You force them to go and sleep while you are outside. You are not intentional. For once, can you give them the privilege to talk about the menu which they want this evening? Okay, this evening, children, what are we eating? Rice, beans, plantain, whatever. KKF, which of them? Let them to decide. But what do? We just cook anything and give them to eat. They like it or not, you must eat it. So. Wrong. For once, can you allow them to lead prayers during the morning devotion? For once, can you give them the scripture? Okay, you should pray for us. Give them a tax. Once you engage them with a tax from that childhood, you already engage their mind that, look, there's a responsibility in my hand. I guess you read the word like this. They train their daughters to be slave queens, and they train their house help to become wife materials. How come? Because you allow your children to sleep and wake up. And go and meet her dad, let's say, bath you. She'll bath you. Go and meet her dad, let her change your diaper. You always delegate them to somewhere, but you never give them responsibility to do something. For once, the moment you see support, can you ask them to turn on the radio and listen to the news? Who is reading the news? Oh, it's a FME. Do they know the voice of the FME? Can they detect it? Oh, no, it is this guy that just came from, it is Canada. Oh, okay. Can they decipher whose voice are they listening to?
Okay.
Now, when they are 18 years, can you engage them in a conversation? What do you want to do? For once, take them out. People should travel. Stroll on the street, get a catman, thank God there are e-car-hailing. Take them to Mr. Zion's place. Let them spend some time. With this doing, the child is already responsive. I have a responsibility.
All right, Mr. Zion.
Engagement I have. So before they grow up, they never need your help to excel again, Mr. Zion.
All right, thank you for calling, Mr. Zion. Also, Francis Ndamani, watching from Amagunze in Enugu State on Facebook. He says, good afternoon from here. Parents should show exemplary behavior and an ideal lifestyle while raising their children and wards. May God help us. All right, thank you very much. So back to my question. How do you raise your children to become adults? Someone was more like, how do I know that I'm not just raising kids, but I'm raising adults? More like, what should I do to ensure that what I'm raising are not just children? Excuse me. So I'm not just doing the things that are needed for my children, but I'm also doing the things that these children need to become the ideal adults they ought to be. I was having a conversation with some I think it was yesterday or so, and the person was like, you know, one thing is parents can actually, they can do the much they can do, you know, just like the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. Not necessarily in the way you want him to go, in the way he should go, so that when he's old, he is the one. He is the one who will not depart from it. So a parent's duty is to do the training. So, but sometimes you actually find these children who have received all the trainings in this life mingle with whatever, some forces. Could be friends, could be internet, could be an environment, could be whatever. Could be something they read from a book. It could be some books that they have become exposed to. And then they choose the other way that they want to go. And then a parent is wondering, where did I go wrong? I thought I did all I was supposed to do. So there are also some people who, consciously or unconsciously, are also training their kids the same way their parents trained them, whether for good or for bad or for evil. You know, it's like they can't run away from this. This is all they know. So first of all, there has to be that self-awareness. You remember I talked about self-awareness, yeah? So if you have not even realized on your own that something is wrong, a certain way of living, a certain mindset is wrong, there's every tendency you will raise your kids to think the same way, behave the same way, and we keep having a society of lousy individuals. Yes, adults who we cannot look up to, who other children cannot look up to. Sometimes adults who have two personalities. You know, there are parents who are doing what they think is the ideal thing to do, but you just end up bringing up children or bringing up an adult who has a dual personality. At home, this person is a different person, right? You know, in front of the parents, they are saints and angels. But once they go out there, Lord have mercy. So how can a parent raise their children to become confident adults, and not just confident adults, to become the ideal adult? Let's talk. 070-0923-0923. Please do me a favor, call this particular number I'm reading out on air. 070-0923-0923. I'm also taking comments on Facebook and on Twitter, so you head on there and leave me a comment. Facebook is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, and then for Twitter it's Nigeria Info PH, and then on Instagram it's Nigeria Info FM _PH. All right, let's get back to the WhatsApp messages. This person here says, good afternoon. What makes an individual the ideal man or woman is not much, as may be considered. The summary is teaching them to be human and be of value, period. And Michael. All right, Michael. But Michael, it's not just period. You made it sound like it's something that can just be done in one day. It's not a one-off. We're talking about raising. We're not saying giving a crash course. We're talking about raising people. It's a lot, even to raise an animal. To even raise a chicken. People are already raising chicken with Christmas and New Year. It's not easy. You buy feed. You control where they are moving to. Control the water they are drinking so that they will not go and die. You lose your money. We're talking about raising your kids to become the ideal adult. Bob Manuel is calling from Rumigbo. Hello, Bob Manuel.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Please go on.
Okay, I wanted to throw my own light about the topic.
All right, go on.
See, I am a parent of 2 kids. You get, and I know what it takes to raise a child. Now, my contribution is not based on what I have heard or it's something that I practice. You get. And you're not far from the truth when you say people tend to pass on the knowledge that they have learned, that they have gotten from their own parents. You get? Now, there is this point I want to raise. These days, I see that children tend to raise children. You understand? Now, parents tend to push out their children to go get married so early because, and so person have done it, so you have to be like person and stuff like that. But it is not supposed to be like that. I know very well that in those days, women used to stay up to 25 years, even in their parents. For the men, they can stay for as long as forever. But not anymore these days. Once a boy child is up to like 18 years, you hear the parents saying, no be your mates then, do this and stuff like that. Making them leave the house so early, you will see a wedding ceremony, a 22 years boy wedding a 17-year-old girl. Those are 2 children marrying themselves. You understand? So it's really outrageous this period. The number of children raising children. So that is my take.
All right, thank you for calling. Robinson from Eliozu.
Okay,
good afternoon, Robinson. Please turn off your radio set and then you can go ahead.
Okay, I've done that.
All right, go on.
Okay. What I want to do is
Robinson, are you standing or sitting close to a fan? I can barely understand what you're saying.
Okay, can you hear me?
All right, this is better. Go ahead.
Okay. Training is very key in a man's life or a woman's life. Like what I learned from my parents while growing up. My dad always told me that I cannot get what I want. Everything is one from me. And he always let me know that one day he will die. One day he will die. Even when he was not wicked. One day we die. And at times, my mom will say, stop saying this. But I want to put this in the head of my son so that when it will happen, they will not take him off balance. And I tell you, the day I heard about that, my mind was already prepared because he has been telling me that it will come one day. That these are things that are inevitable. And what I did was I prepared my mind and gave him a befitting burial. And he always tell me also that God does not answer all our prayers because he knows what is good for us. So when you pray for something, you wait for it. If it doesn't come, you know that the time is not right. What is happening in these days is that all these motivational pastors, they will tell us that because we are Christians, whatever you want, you must get from God. And when you sit down and listen to those teachings, you will come back and tell yourself that because you are Christians, anything you ask God, you must do for you. You forgot that the early Christians, like the Job, the incident he went through all of them. And in his time, God returned everything back to him. So everything in life happens with time and on time. So most parents don't teach us to wait for time. They always tell us it is our right. It's our entitlement.
All right.
So growing up with this idea and mindset made us to go out of our way because we are told that it's our right and entitlement. So it's very good to train up a child in the way he or she will go.
Okay.
Because you have been in the world before the child. You have seen the reality. There are some things that are fiction. There are some things that are true.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, Robinson. We have Chima from Egbeda.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chima. Please go on.
I want to make contribution to your topic. It's a very nice one. If you look at our society today, raising a child to be an adult, it is not an easy thing. I think the role is not only on parents, because if you check the parenting today, even the economy of this country is affecting parenting in totality. So raising children to be an ideal adult in our society today is a big task, of which I will, advise the government to raise up a policy that can help both young adults and those who are into the family system or who are going into the family system to raise proper children. Like what is happening today to the internet fraud that is going on, this is at a rate of poverty in the land. And somebody who is not sane, that does not have the understanding of what these things are causing to people, will just move into it and start, defrauding people. So raising such kids does not lie only on the parents. It also has to do with government, putting a lot of things in order. Like today, a lot of parents are not working, not because they cannot work, but because the enabling environment has not been provided for them to work. So that is what is also affecting the raising of children. But also, in other words, as a parent, if you really want to raise a kid to be an ideal adult, you ought to live your life in a way that those kids will look at you and emulate.
All right.
Not in a situation where
all right,
you're doing a different thing and trying to tell them to do a different thing. Children learn by example. They learn by what they see and how you live life as a father or as a mother. I think that is what I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Chima. So he made his points, at the very end. Says, practice what you preach. Mr. Zion also mentioned that you don't tell them, read your book, but you are watching TV. Tell the truth, but you're even sending them to tell lies on your behalf. All right, Are is calling from NTA Road. Hello, Are.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lady Mega.
You're welcome.
Really, my contribution to this begins by this. You see, training a child begins right from from pregnancy area. When the child is kicking, you begin to tap the stomach. And you see, as the child grows, the child will begin to get the information. Because these little children we are looking at, they are like spirits themselves. You see, and as they grow, they are, getting used to the environment and the situations they find themselves. And again, too, you mentioned something that maybe some people used to get disappointed later, that they train a child very well from so-so area to so-so area, but at the end of the day, they don't get. But it's not like that. The first 6 years of a child needs that training. And when you train such a child very well, the best thing is to give the child a good background, a good foundation. But once you give a child a good foundation, that is what the scripture says, that train a child the way it should go, so that when he or she grows, he will not depart from it. He will not depart from it means that no matter the peer groups, no matter the school, boarding school, universities,
the child will not depart from your training.
Or any community that such a child will go. At the end of the day, the child must come back to that foundation.
All right, thank you very much. And of course, that's where we call it today on The Conversation. We're going to break and now wrap up. Stay tuned.
Have you got the energy to cheer your favorite club to victory? Predator Energy